Welcome to the deep dive. We're slicing through the crypto news noise today, specifically everything up to May 24th, 2025, our goal. Pinpoint the really key developments and figure out why they actually matter. We're looking at news feeds, analyst takes, the whole picture.
Exactly. And there's quite a bit to unpack. Bitcoin making big moves, institutional interest, altcoins doing their thing, and some notable legal stuff, too.
Okay, let's jump right in. Bitcoin hitting, over $111,000?
Mm-hmm.
What's the main driver there?
It really seems to be those U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs. The inflows have been consistently strong. BlackRock's IBIT, for instance, is pulling in some serious numbers daily and weekly.
So serious institutional cash flowing in.
Seems like it. And, Fidelity Digital Assets put out a report calling it a stealth bull run.
Stealth? What do they mean by that?
Well, they're pointing to strong fundamentals like record high futures open interest, suggesting maybe the price isn't running purely on hype this time compared to, say, past cycles. There's maybe more underlying weight to it.
Interesting. And then there's Semler Scientific buying another $50 million in Bitcoin.
Right. Funded by selling stock. Brings their total holdings up significantly. And you also mentioned Texas.
Yeah, the governor signaled support for potentially setting up a state crypto reserve, kind of like New Hampshire did.
These moves, they signal a broadening acceptance, maybe. Bitcoin not just as speculation, but potentially a corporate or even state-level strategic asset.
But, okay, there's always the other side. The Fear and Greed Index went into extreme greed.
Which often precedes a pullback, yeah. And we did see Bitcoin dip back below 107K, seemed correlated with some stock market dips, too.
Shows how interconnected things are getting.
Definitely. Though it's worth noting, some analysts pointed to metrics like the spot taker CVD turning green.
Meaning?
Basically suggesting buyers were stepping back in on the spot exchanges, potentially regaining control despite the pullback. Volatility is just part of the game here.
Right. And there was talk about hitting $110,000 by the May 30th options expiry.
Yeah, because there's a large amount of open interest in call options just above that level. Sometimes these levels act like magnets near expiry. Creates potential fireworks.
Okay, let's pivot to altcoins. Heard XRP adoption is really taking off in Singapore.
According to a 2025 report, yeah. Awareness and actual use seem to be climbing, especially alongside stablecoins.
And predictions are flying around, some saying $10 or $20 soon, maybe even $1,000 long term. It's trading around $2.35 now. How seriously should we take those huge long-term numbers?
Well, as long-term targets are always highly speculative, Depends massively on adoption and regulation. The Singapore news is interesting, but $1,000 is, a very big jump.
Understood. What about Ethereum? Seeing negative net flows.
When more ETH leaves exchanges than comes in, it often suggests people are planning to hold, not sell immediately. It can build bullish pressure if buying continues, maybe towards $3,500.
And quickly, Litecoin looking at a potential 30% rally. And BNB possibly surging towards $1,000.
Yeah, specific technicals and project news can drive individual alts. Litecoin needs to break a key resistance level. BNB is showing strength, supported by its ecosystem growth, like DX volume. Lots of different stories in the alt market.
Got it. We also saw some notable shifts. Polygon's co-founder stepping down.
Mihailo Bielik, yeah. Seen as a loss, certainly, but projects often weather these changes. The tech and community are key.
And a really interesting legal one. The Mango Markets exploit case. Judge overturned fraud convictions.
Right. The ruling essentially said exploiting permissionless code without making false statements isn't necessarily fraud in that context. Big implications for DeFi and smart contracts.
But then, stark contrast, the former SafeMoon CEO was convicted on all charges, a $200 million fraud.
Yeah, shows the other side. Regulators and courts are cracking down hard on outright scams. Due diligence is crucial.
And Pi Network had some insider token moves causing jitters, even with Kraken launching futures for it.
Highlights the transparency issues and risks that can still pop up, even with established names involved.
Looking bigger picture now. Jesse Myers predicting Bitcoin treasury companies hold a huge slice of BTC by 2045.
Yeah, his thesis is basically Bitcoin as the ultimate long-term store of value, leading companies to hoard it as an escape from fiat debasement.
And Solana Foundation is talking about universal basic ownership through tokenization.
Right. The idea is using blockchain to give more people access to investment opportunities, tokenize everything.
Plus, Shielded Technologies CEO talking up on-chain privacy, ZK proofs becoming vital with AI.
That's a key theme as data becomes more valuable and AI processes more of it. Proving things without revealing raw data becomes critical. ZK proofs are a tool for that.
And Cardano's Hoskinson teasing a big multi-chain airdrop to foster collaboration. Lots of future-focused ideas.
Definitely points towards a more integrated future for blockchain and finance, ownership, data privacy, different projects tackling different angles.
So wrapping this quick dive up to May 24th, Bitcoin's strong, institutionally backed, but definitely volatile. Altcoins are a mixed bag, lots of potential, lots of risk.
Yeah, and the legal side is still evolving rapidly. Plus, these bigger visions for where crypto fits into the future economy and, well, data itself.
The logical takeaway seems to be the crypto market is maturing with serious institutional players, especially in Bitcoin, but it's still incredibly dynamic. Volatility is expected, altcoins offer diverse paths, but require careful navigation. And the underlying tech keeps pushing towards broader integration in finance and data security.
Well put. It's a space that demands attention, constantly shifting.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining this deep dive. As this landscape keeps evolving so fast, what emerging trend really grabs your attention or maybe even concerns you most? Something to think about.
Stay ahead in crypto. Get vital market updates and trends delivered directly to your inbox. Subscribe now at cryptobeholder.com.